An MLB insider says the Dodgers could trade Tyler Glasnow this offseason. Is that a real possibility? Should they consider it? Also, the Dodgers are being linked to the best player from last season in the KBO to take over third base. That's an interesting rumor. What should the Dodgers do this year at third base and moving forward? That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. Oh, there's always Dodger baseball to talk about. We got some interesting, juicy rumors to get into. So let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so the hottest story in Dodger baseball comes from ESPN's Jesse Rogers, who is a reputable source. He's more of an analysis type guy than a insider type guy. He's not the Jeff Passan types. Who, by the way, Jeff Passan randomly tweeted out, "I'm thankful for gravy. Aren't we all?" It's nothing better than some gravy. And of course, there's going to be a lot of players trying to gravy train on the Dodgers' success over the last couple years. Now, could the Dodgers go out there and make moves? Absolutely. Do they have the best farm system in baseball? That's where they're consistently ranked. You got top prospects. You got guys like Josue DePaula and Zaire Hope and Quintero and Jackson Ferris. The list goes on and on and on. But could they look to deal a starting pitcher? Could they look to deal not only big league ready talent, but all-star level talent? Well, that is what Jesse Rogers is suggesting in this article that polled a bunch of executives around the league. Now, this is what it says exactly. And this was one of the responses he got from an exec. And it says, quote, "Sleeper name Tyler Glasnow. Feels like the Dodgers can go to Ohtani, Yamamoto, Snell, Sasaki, Sheehan, and others and use Glasnow on the trade market to cover up some holes." So what he's saying there initially is that this executive is saying, okay, you got a deep rotation. You've already got surefire, bona fide aces in Yamamoto, in Snell, in Ohtani. Then you got Sasaki, who could emerge and hopefully realizes his potential as a frontline starter next year. Then you're up to 4. Emmett Sheehan has shown a lot of potential. Is Sheehan going to be better than Glasnow? I would say no. Is Sasaki better than Glasnow right now? He's still a complete unknown, so the answer is no. Snell we know is, Yamamoto we know is. Ohtani's interesting just because you know they're going to be cautious with him. You can't view Shohei as a guy you're expecting to go 150 to 200 plus innings right out of the gate. I mean, could he do it? Sure. Does that mean it's the best thing for this team? No, because you can't do anything to risk losing his bat. That's the number one thing he brings to this team. As good of a pitcher as he is, he has a bigger impact with the stick because he's in the lineup every single day, hitting 50 plus home runs, stealing bases, getting RBIs, getting extra base hits and triples and doubles. So the minute they lose Ohtani's bat, for the most part, it's over. So I think that for the outsiders to evaluate this Dodgers rotation, I think that they're doing it in a vacuum. They're not looking deep into it, and they're just assuming, okay, each of these starters, because of how they look, because of how they're capable of performing when they're at their best, that it suggests that they should be posting and that they're going to just go full bore for the entire regular season. The truth is, the Dodgers always need depth at the starting pitcher role. You always need as many guys as you can to cover those innings through the gauntlet that is a 162 game season. So could they trade Tyler Glasnow? Certainly they could. Does it mean it's the best idea? It doesn't. But let's look into it. How much money does he still owe? How many years? Well, right now, after he did sign that $136.5 million extension with the Dodgers a couple seasons ago, after the 2023 season, heading into 2024, when they trade away Ryan Pepio, my good friend, shout out Pep, the Pepio and his Stepio. He's having a busy offseason, I see. He's my good friend over there in Tampa Bay. and Johnny DeLuca, the Ron Cey clone, after they trade him to Tampa Bay, and they traded Pepiot to Tampa Bay, they not only brought in Glasnow, but they brought him in with an extension. And anytime you do that, it's you believe that a guy can be a pillar for your rotation for years to come. First season, when he was on the mound, he was good, but then he got hurt and you couldn't use him in the postseason. Second season, he refined the mechanics a little bit to take some pressure off the elbow to keep him healthy. Early on, it was a struggle for him because he just couldn't feel right. He missed some time, but he was big. I mean, he was big against the Phillies in the clincher. He was big. I mean, he had his moments coming out of the bullpen against the Phillies early on in that series. I thought he was huge too. We saw what he was capable of doing in the postseason, where his high points are certainly there. Tyler Glasnow is a guy that can perform at a high level on a big stage. And if you look how he performed in the postseason, I don't think he gets enough credit for it, quite frankly. In the postseason, 21 in the third innings of work. He pitched in 6 games, and he posted a 1.69 ERA. He pitched twice against the Phillies, once out of the bullpen, going inning and 2/3. Didn't give up a run, gave up a couple hits. But in the clincher, that the Dodgers won in extra innings after Hae-Sung Kim cross home plate, went back and touched it again. He went 6 innings in a tied ball game with no run support, and he gave up 2 hits, had 8 strikeouts, 3 walks, but did not give up a run. So he got a hold against the Phillies, went a 6 innings of scoreless ball against the Phillies, which I think, of course, is his best start as a Dodger. And then against the Brewers in the NLCS, his start, he went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 1 run. He was really good in that game too. And he got the job done there. The Dodgers win game 3, 3-1. And then against the Blue Jays, 4 2/3 innings in the 18-inning game. And he gave 2 runs, solid there. Then he went 1 inning in the Friday game, got the job done in game 6, and then pitched 2 1/3 innings of 1-run ball in game 7. Tyler Glasnow is postseason certified now. Tyler Glasnow is a guy that has that kind of stuff with the extension, the nasty curveball slider combination with a heater that clocks in at 97, 98, but with that extension is right on top of hitters, looking like it's triple digits. So the point I'm trying to make here is, if you are going to consider trading Tyler Glasnow, it better be for a star pitcher and not an outfielder and not a position player. I think the only way you trade Tyler Glasnow is if you think you can upgrade at the starting pitcher spot. And of course, who am I talking about? And I've suggested this early on this postseason. If you're going to trade Tyler Glasnow, trade it for Tarik Skubal. And by the way, Tarik Skubal, he tweeted out yesterday about Jack White and Eminem, saying that he had goosebumps during their halftime performance in the Lions-Packers Thanksgiving game. And he said, "Are you guys available on April 3rd?" Which I'm going to have to assume is the opening day for the Detroit Tigers. So is that Tarik Skubal trying to say, "Oh, I want to stay in Detroit. Hey, give me an extension"? It doesn't mean too much, but it does mean that at the very least, he's not out there forcing a trade, telling the front office he wants to be somewhere else. So the question is Tarik Skubal truly available this offseason? That's one. 2, would the Dodgers get involved because they're one of the few teams that have the prospect capital to get a deal done? And 2, have a legitimate shot of maybe not signing an extension before he enters his walk year, but have the confidence in knowing that if we put Tarik Skubal in our organization and we let him see how we run things here, and he walks down those hallways, the hallowed grounds of Dodger Stadium, and he sees pictures of Sandy Koufax, Fernando Valenzuela, Oral Hershiser, Clayton Kershaw, all the great starting pitchers that have put on that Dodger blue. He sees the pitching coaching with Mark Pryor and the analytics department. I mean, if I'm the Dodgers, Yeah. Are there any guarantees you're going to sign a guy? No. But they're one of the organizations to where it's to their advantage. It's to their advantage to bring a guy in and see how they run things at spring training and go chase a World Series and have your best year and not have to rely solely on him. If I'm Tarik Skubal, I'm trying to lengthen my career. I don't want to be the only dude that can get it done. And with the Dodgers, he would not have to be that guy. So if you're LA and the Tigers are saying, yeah, we want big league ready talent, but we'd also like a guy that maybe we wouldn't typically be able to get. And that's a guy like Tyler Glasnow. And could the Tigers afford Tarik Skubal at $350 million, which is what he's going to get? At least $350 to $400 if he stays healthy. He's a Scott Boras client, so the likelihood of an extension before the season, unless it's just an insane number, is probably unlikely. Could they afford that? No. But could they afford what's left on Tyler Glasnow's contract? Yes. And that's because every single major league franchise can afford an ace-level pitcher that's due $81.5 million through 2028. And that is what Tyler Glasnow still owns. So if you look at the remainder of his contract, he's due $81.5625 million through 2028. And 2028 is either $21.5625 million, or it's a player option for $30 million. Or it's a player option, or that's the player option for that year in 2028 at 21.5, or the club option, or the it's a $21.56 million player option or a $30 million club option. So that is kind of where they would be for him financially. And if you're the Dodgers, you say to yourself, with Glasnow as good as he is, are you selling him on a high? Because you can say, wow, look how this guy pitched in the postseason. Look at how he's looked when he's been healthy. And if you're the Dodgers, you say, could you trade a guy that even after Tommy John surgery, getting the brace surgery, even after refining the mechanics, always feels like, hey, he might be someone that is just one pitch away from having to miss time. And you're kind of trading him on a high. If you're Tyler Glasnow, are you even that upset about everything just because, yeah, you wanted to play for your hometown team? And yes, he's from Santa Clarita and he's been massive for this franchise, but you already won your World Series too. You won two, essentially, in 2 years, and that ring shines forever. So it's business for the Dodgers. Do you have depth? Sure. But the truth is, guys like Tyler Glasnow are not easy to find. They're not, and they don't.
でも、ドジャースの物語はここで終わりません。ワールドシリーズ連覇で現代の王朝とまで呼ばれるようになったそのチームに、今、アメリカ中のインサイダーがざわつく危険な噂が流れています。ドジャースはタイラー、グラスノーをトレードに出すかもしれない。ESPN の記者ジェシー・ロジャーズが複数の球団幹部に匿名アンケートを取ったとき、ある一人のエグゼクティブがこんな爆弾発言をしました。スリーパー、ネーム、タイラー、グラスノーさ。ドジャースは大谷、山本、スネル、佐々木、そういう怪物たちをローテに並べた上で、グラスノーをトレードに出して、他の穴を埋めることだってできる。この一言が、アメリカの野球ファンの心を一気にざわつかせました。あのポストシーズンのヒーローを。そんな贅沢あるか。でも、相手は銀河系軍団ドジャースです。普通のチームが決してできない決断を本気でテーブルに乗せている。そう思わせるだけの現実がそこにあります。ちょっと思い出してみてください。あのポストシーズン、グラスノーはどう投げましたか？フィリーズとのシリーズで延長戦にもつれ込んだあの試合、6回を投げて被安打に失点0、8奪三振、完全アウェーの空気の中で敵地の大歓声を力に変えるようにしてビッグゲームをねじ伏せました。ブルワーズ戦でも5回3分の2を投げてわずか1失点。ブルージェイズとの18回マラソンゲームでもロングリリーフ。ポストシーズン通算防御率 1.69。彼は紛れもなく大舞台に強い男であることを証明したのです。そんなピッチャーを駒の一つとして動かせる。それが今のドジャースの怖さなんです。では、なぜそんな噂が出てくるのか。理由はシンプル。ドジャースにはすでにエース級が何人もいると見られているから。 山本由伸、サイ・ヤング級左腕スネル、そして慎重に起用されるとはいえ、マウンドに上がればゲームを支配できる翔平大谷、さらにポテンシャルの甲斐佐々木諦まれの名前までアメリカの番組で普通に飛び交うようになっている。外から見ればエース候補はもうお腹いっぱいだろ。だったらグラスノーを出して別の穴を埋めればいい。そんなロジックになるわけです。でもそこでこう言いたくなりますよね。いやいや、シーズン162試合なめんなよとドジャースは誰よりも知っています。長いレギュラーシーズンを戦い抜くにはエース予備員どころかエース6人分の投手力が必要だということ。だからこそここ数年怪我人が出てもなお勝ち続けてこられた。それでももしグラスノーを出すならその対価はただの補強では終わりません。アナリストたちは口を揃えています。もしドジャースがグラスノーを出すならそれは別のエースを連れてくるための犠牲だろう。名前として挙がっているのがデトロイトの大エース候補タリク・スクーバル。まだ若く急成長中、将来3億5000万ならぐ4億ドルクラスの契約を結ぶと言われる左腕の怪物です。もしドジャースがグラスの有望株を差し出しスクーバル級の投手を引き寄せることに成功したら、山本、大谷、スネル、スクーバル、佐々木諦まれ、これゲームバランス崩壊してない。アメリカ中の解説者が本気でそう言い出す未来が見えてきます。さらにホットコーナー三塁にも大きな動きの噂が。 KBO 韓国プロ野球で昨シーズン MVP 級の活躍を見せたリーグ最高の三塁手と呼ばれる男。その名前がドジャースのサード問題を解決するピースとして水面元で囁かれ始めています。ピッチャー陣はエース級がずらり、そこにアジア最強クラスの三塁手が加わる。そして中心には大谷、山本、日本のスターたち。それはもはや MLB のチームというよりワールドベースボールオールスターズインロサンゼルス。ここで一つ想像してみてください。もしあなたがタイラー・グラスノーだったら、地元カリフォルニア生まれ、ドジャースブルーのユニフォームに袖を通し、すでに2つのリングを手にしている。ポストシーズンの大舞台で自分が投げたスコアボードのゼロを大谷のホームランと山本の快投とブルペン陣の踏ん張りが守り続けた。それでもフロントはこう考えるかもしれない。君は最高だった。だからこそ君をトレードすることでこのチームをさらに怪物レベルに引き上げたい。残酷だけどプロフェッショナルで、そして何より勝利に飢えた球団らしい決断。そんな冷酷でドラマチックな選択をも平然とテーブルに乗せるのが今のドジャースなんです。私たち日本のファンにとってはグラスノーも残ってほしい。でもスクーバルも見たい。 KBO のサードも面白い。感情がぐちゃぐちゃに入り混じる最高にえぐいごちそうタイムが今始まっています。一つだけはっきりしていること、ドジャースは止まらない。ヤンキースのオーナーが震え、他球団の GM たちがため息をつき、メディアが悪の帝国と叫んでも、ロサンゼルスには世界一のスターたちと世界一貪欲なフロントオフィス、そして世界一熱い日本のファンがいる。そのトライアングルが崩れない限り、このチームの次の一手は必ず野球界全体を揺らす一歩になります。さあ、このオフ、グラスノーは残るのか、それとも新たな怪物を連れてくる代償になるのか。答えが出るその瞬間まで、私たちはドジャースブルーとサムライブルー、二つの青を胸にワクワクしながら見届けるしかないのです。